Janice R. Love, also known as the First Lady Coach, and I equip seasoned pastors' wives to live an authentic and harmonious life by having that clarity, the confidence, and the courage to stand on their own platform. Hello, everybody. Hey, Vanita. Welcome. It is Sunday and time for session number 7 of our Pearl Power series. So, as you are coming in, feel free to leave a message in the chat box. Feel free to say hello. Give me some hearts. Give me some love. So glad to see everybody out here. Again, I am Dr. Janice R. Love, also known as the First Lady Coach, and I equip seasoned pastors' wives to live that authentic and harmonious life by having that clarity, the confidence, and the courage to stand on their own platform. And guess what? Without being a distraction to the ministry. So I have been coming out here now for this is the beginning of the 3rd week of my Pearl Power series, and we are on session number 7. Hopefully, you have been able to join me for some of the other sessions. If not, go back and watch the replay, definitely, so you can catch up to where we are. So we have, again, presented up to 7 different ways, actually, for chosen wives to unleash your God-given superpower. So throughout this 9-part series, we are presenting you with 9 different ways that you, as a chosen wife, can unleash your God-given superpower. First of all, we talked about the first thing, that you were chosen, that you were created, called, and chosen. And when you are chosen, God has a specific assignment for you. So that's the first thing that we confirm. Then secondly, we confirm that so often, because we are married to pastors or because we are married to influencers, that we often get sidetracked because we are busy supporting our husband and everybody else. And so often we get sidetracked, and we have confirmed that it is now. Now is the time to reclaim your calling, and it is your time. Then thirdly, we talked about that again. We started on that journey, and somewhere along the way, we might have lost some clarity, maybe some confidence, because of that negative thinking that we have in our head, that negative thinking that takes over and keeps us stuck. So remember the ACT acronym on how you can keep those negative thoughts, how you can transform those negative thoughts into truths. Remember, we talked about that. All right, and then we talked about, we know that we can be our husband's greatest asset without losing who we are in the process, without sacrificing who we are. And we now know that we can do that. That was session number 4. Session number 5, we talked about needing that safe place to take off our crown and our super cape, because so often we are the ones who are taking care of everybody else, and we need that safe place. We also established that there are limited safe places where a pastor's wife, especially a seasoned pastor's wife, can go and learn, grow, and connect with other like-minded women. And then we learned that we talked about the reasons why we don't believe we have the time, that precious time, to pursue our purpose. So again, we have covered several different things, leading up to this point where I want to show you the number 1 way where you can, look at me, check my note. The number 1 way that you can gain that clarity and the courage to fulfill your God-given purpose. So again, we have talked about all of this, and now we are up to the point where I want to show you the number 1 way that you can get that clarity and the confidence in order to fulfill your God-given purpose. All right, so stick with me. I want to share my screen with you here so I can share with you that number 1 way. And I've been talking about it since we started. I introduced you to Chosen Pearls. This is the number 1 place. It strategically guides you towards your life calling, giving you that clarity, the confidence, and the courage to do exactly what God created you to do. So here is my chosen pearl process. And this is, again, this is based on years, over 7 or 8 years now of working with pastors' wives and women married to influencers. Also from my experience of working with wives in complex roles, such as being married, being divorced, being a stepmom, being married to ministry. This comes from years of experience and my background in Christian counseling, as well as years of training and learning and development, and also years of experience as a coach. So this isn't just based on something that I just made up. It is based on years of working and proving that it works. All right, so here is the process. Step one in the process is called created, called, and chosen. Now, when you don't know who you are, or where you came from, you will have no idea where you are going. So we often lack that confidence we need in order to complete our God given assignment. But what you will learn in terms of chosen pearls is we'll uncover and confirm the details of what I call your unique God identity so that you can live authentically, never ever having to apologize for who God made you to be. We explore all the events of your life so that you can discover what it means to be chosen, and then nothing happened in your life by accident. Remember, we talked about that? We will uncover what I call your personal power. In fact, we will do a personal power portfolio that will include your gifts and the talents and the abilities and all those life accomplishments that God has bestowed upon you. That will further validate that God is the one that created, called, and chose you for such a time as this. Step two in the process is being more than a helpmate. Now, we already established that we are to be more than a helpmate, just not sitting on the sideline watching our husbands do what God called them to do. We are more than a helpmate. And we have confirmed that a man's greatest treasure is his wife. So let's be that gift. And here's how we do that. What we will do is you'll learn that when you said yes to your husband, that did not mean that you said no to who God created you to be, and you can have that harmonious life and that harmonious marriage. We'll develop what we call our marital harmony plan. Remember, we talked about that in 5 crucial areas so that you can be your husband's greatest asset without losing yourself in the process. Then in step number three, remember we talked about that negative thinking. There's a war going on, and we already established that. And Satan wants nothing more than to destroy us as individuals, as our marriages, and again, our testimony. And there are specific things that I call shadows. We talked about many of these that Satan uses to block us from what God has for us. So what we do is we will develop what I call your MBA, which is your mind and body strategic plan, so that you can use your God-given tools to identify, first of all, recognize and defend yourself. Remember that lie detector we talked about? From that darkness that the shadows can create in your life. So you know what? Emerging from the shadows gives your life a lot more fulfillment. All that negative thinking is gone, and it gives you that courage to do what you have been created to do as a chosen pearl. Step. So let me just share with you some client testimony. But Sheila shared that we address many of the areas that she perhaps hadn't gotten over mentally. One of the biggest things that she received was the ability to be a better helpmate to her husband, and she can freely show him more love and affection. But again, she focused on the fact that we went back and dealt with some of those things, being released from those shadows that Satan was trying to use to keep her from being blocked. All right. Next, step four in the process is stand on your own platform. Knowing what your God given gifts are and how to cultivate them is vital for you to be able to do what God has called you to do, what He has created you to do. So let's look at Cheryl. She talked about the fact that during the pandemic, she was overwhelmed, feeling like she had lost her voice in her marriage and in her ministry. So she decided to join my mentoring program to discover her voice and her platform. So now she uses that knowledge to make decisions, to evaluate responses to important situations. She loved the program mainly because it helped her to really see her true strengths, also how to deal with those shadows that come in our lives. And she said, I made it an easy process to go through. And she is so glad that she invested in herself. And this is Cheryl. She's an author. Step number four, the results you will get is that you will uncover the shape of your platform so that you can channel your passion and energy towards your true calling rather than waste your time and energy trying to do something that you were not created to do. We create your purpose implementation plan so that you will have a clear roadmap, a very clear roadmap to guide you as you build and stand on your own platform. Then let's hear from Kimberly. She said that when she heard I was offering another coaching program, she signed up immediately. She was ready to get that clarity that she needed to do what God created her to do. So, as a result of her working with me in the coaching program, she gained that clarity and the confidence to fulfill her calling to host her ongoing community prayer gathering. I am standing boldly on my platform without that fear of being a distraction to my husband's ministry. He is one now of her biggest fans and he supports her in that journey. So she also talks about the fact that she had that safe environment for her to rise above the expectations of others and to share her own dreams. And she finally had the tools she needed to implement her purpose. So, step number five is from Eve to Esther. Now, we know that Eve was the first woman, the first wife, and the first mother, but she is most remembered for being tempted by Satan and doubting God's plan for her life. On the other hand, Esther had a tragic beginning, but trusted God when she learned the very purpose and the reason for which she was created. So, in our Eve to Esther, what we will do a deep dive into the lives of both Eve and Esther so that you can learn how to leverage your strategic position to do what you were created to do. Then we'll cultivate and build your critical thinking skills and that strategic decision making skills so that you can make godly decisions that will not become a distraction to your purpose or to the ministry. Isn't this good? Yes, I love it. So here is Kathy, who talked about the fact that she turned to social media for guidance. And that's what we often do as pastor's wife. We're looking for that safe place. And so she turned to social media. So she's been a pastor's wife for over 10 years, and she felt like she was becoming what she calls cellophane to herself. So she listened with her heart and decided to take a chance. Okay. And the teachings that I was doing with my Married to Ministry group, which is now called More Than a Helpmate, equipped her the biblically based things I was doing in there to support her husband, yet stand on her own platform. So when she began to refocus her mindset on what she has to offer as a woman of God, a wife and a pastor's wife, she says her strength was renewed. One of her favorite sessions led her to solicit the support of God, her husband, and my organization, Pearls Perfected Institute, to write and publish her very first book in October 2020. So she says, thank you for listening to that still small voice of God. And she, again, for women being married to ministry. So that's from Kathy, who lives in Hampton. She's now an author. All right, then the final step in the process for Chosen Pearls is network and connect. So God created us to be relational. We established that on one of our other times. And he also designed us to use our gifts and talents to serve others. Our gifts are not for us. Our gifts are for us to serve others. We are also encouraged to stir up the gift, to fan into a flame and rekindle the fire of the spiritual gifts that God has given us. Remember, as iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. So, in the last part of our Chosen Pearl process, what we will do is that we will nurture, network, and connect. First, what we'll do is we'll create your platform growth plan so that you can continue to nurture your platform and make a significant impact on the lives of others. We will also create a networking plan to create your own inner circle or your own safe place so you can engage in personal relationships and be yourself without being judged. All right. So, how about you? Do you want to live that harmonious and authentic life? Are you ready to stand on your own platform doing the very thing that God created you to do? And guess what? You can do that in only 4 months. Think about if you had to go back to school and you had to do that in 4 years. But with Chosen Pearls, you can do that in only 4 months. And you get wise counsel to support you through every step of the journey. Lastly, here's Shafran, who says if you're married to ministry or embracing on the journey of being a pastor's wife, Dr. Janice's coaching program is definitely for you. Chosen Pearls has a structure that's easy to follow and has just the right amount of guidance and personal introspection. It's deep work, but it's life affirming work. The program has quieted my overwhelm and set me on a path to be more confident in my identity as a believer, an individual, and a wife. Invest in yourself and take this program. So, again, if you want to learn more and if you are ready to step into your destiny for such a time like this, then visit janicerlove.com/chosen pearls and let's get on the conversation. Let's have a conversation about you being a part of the program so that you can get all these results that we talked about today. Let me just screen here. So, back to me. I am going to be accepting between 8 to 10 women into my next group, which will launch on June the 6th. It will launch on June the 6th. I'm accepting only 8 to 10 women, and you have to go through an application process. And in order to do that, you must go to janicrlove.com/chosen pearls. Now, what's included in the program? You're probably asking that. I've already told you about the results that you'll get, but you'll have 10 master lessons. You're going to have at least 3 one-on-one sessions with me. You're going to have at least eight group sessions with like-minded women who are on the same journey as you. You're going to have some homework, and then you will be able to achieve the 7 milestones, with the last one I call being your PhD, which means it's your purpose, which it's how you're demonstrating. So I would love to have you join me. Again, go to janicrlove.com//chosen pearls and let's get on the conversation. But again, Chosen Pearls is that number one way for you to live that authentic and harmonious life by having that clarity, the confidence, and the courage to stand on your own platform without being a distraction to the ministry. So, won't you join us? Again, this is session number 7. I have 2 more sessions to go. So I will see you on Tuesday night for session number 8. And then the final session on Thursday will be session number 9. Thanks so much for everybody that came out to see me tonight. Hey there again, Vanita, British girl. So good to have you. If you are on Instagram, just send me a DM and put in there chosen. Again, all about the fact that we have been chosen by God. Just put in there chosen. And again, even if you're on Facebook or even on LinkedIn, definitely drop me a message and let's connect. All right. So again, I am Dr. Janice R. Love, also known as the First Lady Coach, and I help seasoned pastors' wives to live that authentic and harmonious life by having that clarity, the confidence, and the courage to stand on their own platform. Thanks for joining me on tonight. We will see you next time. Until then, be blessed.